Why you recognize National Dog Show host John O'Hurley. When you're watching the 2025 National Dog Show, you can expect the competition's hosts to provide all the stats and facts you'll need to know about the dozens of breeds competing for the coveted Best in Show title. Canine expert David Free has pooch pedigree as a breeder, handler, and owner of purebred pups and as the former host, 27 years, of the Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show. He's been a co-host of the National Dog Show on NBC since 2002. He'll be joined by John O'Hurley, the actor and game show host whose dulcet tones have provided commentary for the National Dog Show for decades. Related, all of the holiday specials airing on NBC in 2025. The official lineup and schedule. O'Hurley's wide-ranging career includes iconic roles, hosting gigs, and voice work. Born in Kittery, Maine, O'Hurley attended Providence College in Rhode Island, where he studied theater. He went on to score a role in a beloved sitcom, voice characters on popular cartoons, and host a well-known game show. Find out where you've likely seen or heard O'Hurley's velvety voice before. What film and TV roles is John O'Hurley best known for? If you love sitcoms, O'Hurley has likely been on your radar for some of his memorable parts over the years. On Seinfeld, he played Elaine's adventuring catalog company boss, J. Peterman. And on the comedy drama Devious Maids, he played Dr. Christopher Neff in a recurring role. O'Hurley has also had roles in several daytime soap operas including The Young and the Restless, Loving, NBC's Santa Barbara, and most recently, All My Children in 2011. In 2005, O'Hurley danced into infamy as a contestant on the first season of Dancing with the Stars, where he and his dance partner Charlotte Jorgensen lost to soap star Kelly Monaco and her dance partner in the final competition. O'Hurley's team then won a special grudge match vote by the audience against Monaco. O'Hurley's vast resume also includes roles on The X-Files, NCIS, Los Angeles, and Boy Meets World. He hosted Family Feud between 2006 and 2010. He's also had a very busy voice performance career for animated shows, including voicing King Neptune over the years on SpongeBob SquarePants, Ellis Crane on Archer, Prescott Moneygreen on The Really Loud House, Hades on Monster High, and many, many others. John O'Hurley is a dog lover. O'Hurley owns a purebred Havanese named Lucy, as well as 2 rescue pups named Charlotte and Mia, according to his bio on the National Dog Show site. Related, who won the National Dog Show last year? All winners since 2002. His books include the children's book, The Perfect Dog, which was turned into a musical of the same name intended to be performed for children's theater. O'Hurley is a spokesperson and ambassador for the Puppy Food Bank, an organization that started out by providing food to pet rescues in Texas and grew to help out shelters all across the country. How to watch the National Dog Show. Catch O'Hurley hosting the National Dog Show on Thursday, November 27, 2025, Thanksgiving Day, from noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Time/Pacific Time on NBC. The special will be simulcast on Peacock. There are some faces you don't forget, some because they've appeared in every corner of pop culture, and others because they shine with a strange and stubbornly recognizable charm. John O'Hurley, the longtime host of the National Dog Show, belongs to that rare second category, a man whose presence seems so familiar that you feel as though you already know him, even if you've only encountered him once through a television screen. Whenever I see him standing there, tuxedo immaculate, hair gleaming like a polished silver trophy, voice resonant enough to shake the rafters of any studio, I experience that curious sensation of déjà vu. It is as though he stepped out of a world where elegance, eccentricity, and slightly theatrical sincerity coexist in perfect harmony. And so, I recognize him, not just because he is a public figure, but because he feels like an old character who wandered out of a cherished story. But why can one recognize John O'Hurley so instantly? Why does he linger in the memory with such persistence? And what makes him the perfect host for a show as oddly enchanting as the National Dog Show? To answer that, we must take a journey, not only through the halls of televised dog pageantry, but through the many facets of O'Hurley's persona. The actor, the voice, the humorist, the gentleman, and the unexpected philosopher who once declared that dogs are the purest celebration of being alive. Let us begin at the surface. where first impressions are often etched. 1. The hair, a monument unto itself. It feels almost unfair to other hosts, unfair to gravity, unfair to nature herself, that John O'Hurley's hair exists. It is a work of architecture, a coiffed sculpture that has achieved mythic status in the eyes of National Dog Show spectators. It is white, not the hesitant gray of mortal men, but a bright, confident white, as if plucked from the plumage of a rare showbred Samoyed. Seeing O'Hurley's hair on television is recognizing a landmark. It has a presence. It has an identity separate from the man beneath it, like an elegant crown he was born wearing. When he stands beside the carefully brushed Tibetan Terriers and gleaming Weimaraners, it feels as though he belongs among them. He, too, has a coat worthy of judging. This is the first reason you recognize him. John O'Hurley is the only man whose hair can compete with a lineup of champion dogs, successfully. 2. The voice that could narrate the sunrise. There are voices that tell you things, and voices that guide you. John O'Hurley's voice does something else entirely. It invites you into a world where the everyday becomes theatrical, the mundane becomes poetic, and the National Dog Show becomes the Westminster Abbey of Thanksgiving entertainment. His voice is rich but controlled, expressive but never loud. It belongs in an old-world radio play, announcing the weather with the gravitas of a Shakespearean monologue. When he describes a dog, he doesn't merely say, "Here is a dachshund." No, he introduces the dachshund the way one might introduce a dignitary or an archduke visiting from a far-off land. You recognize him because his voice does not simply speak, it performs. And you feel, listening to him, that the entire world could use a narrator of such caliber. Even your grocery list would sound more meaningful in his baritone. 3. The Seinfeld echo, Jake. Peterman lives on. For many, the recognition comes from a different memory entirely, the voice and presence of J. Peterman, the eccentric catalog magnate John O'Hurley portrayed on Seinfeld. That character spoke in whimsical metaphors and grandiose monologues, a style that seemed almost too perfectly matched to O'Hurley's natural charisma. Some people say, "I know that guy from somewhere," and then suddenly it hits them with comedic clarity, "He's the J. Peterman guy." And it's true. O'Hurley embodied Peterman so completely that he became the living, breathing avatar of a fictional catalog. His Seinfeld persona took on a life greater than the show itself. Lines like, "You may know it as Myanmar, but it will always be Burma to me," cemented his cultural footprint. Even today, at the National Dog Show, a viewer might see him holding a microphone and describing a Scottish deerhound with poetic flourish and think, "Of course he speaks this way. He's J. Peterman." You recognize him because he has played a character who never quite left the stage.